All right, welcome into Who's Got Next, brought to you by Maize and Blue Review. We're on the On3 network, also Rivals recruiting coverage, but you can find us over at on3.com. Search Maize and Blue Review and join us for $1. Access to all premium national content, Michigan content, intel, and of course our message board community, The Den. Very, very special episode, which you already know. You saw the thumbnail, you clicked the photo, you see him on the screen. Michigan commit and already massive fan favorite, Mr. Jaylen Pile. How you doing, buddy? I know you're a busy kid, so I appreciate you coming on.
Nah, man, the pleasure is all mine. I'm glad y'all let me to come on this show, and I'm just real appreciative, and I can't wait to talk about some stuff.
Like I said, you're already a fan favorite. A lot of that I think is your social media interaction, but also Michigan fans tend to love kids that got a chip on their shoulders, maybe, or these guys that are considered these underrated recruits. And when you first came on to our scale in terms of, okay, he's got the offer, and I'm looking into it and I'm like, I see a lower recruitment. I'm like, interested. Let me look at the offer list. I'm like, okay, here's an elite offer list for a wide receiver. I'm like, let me look at the film. All right, here's a kid, over the shoulder catch, back shoulder, running every route, outside, inside, slot. What's the competition he's playing? Oh, top level in Dallas, Texas, right? So like I struggle to figure out. I know the recruiting rankings don't matter at the end of the day, right? You're a Michigan commit. You're where you need to be.
Yeah,
But
yes,
how
sir.
does that motivate you? Do you not care at all? Does it impact you? Like, do other coaches bring it up to you? Like, how do you deal with that when you're, again, a wide receiver playing on a program that's won a bunch of championships? You're committed to Michigan, and they're like, hey, what's up with these rankings?
Yeah, there's motivation, and obviously, playing with a chip on your shoulder makes you play 10 times better. That's kind of my philosophy in the way that I play. I play like I still have something to prove, and it just keeps me going. It gives me an opportunity to really think about, how it's going to be in life. Like you might not be everybody's, perfect receiver, and you got to be fine with that. You're not going to appeal to everybody in this type of sport. Like you have people that like a certain style of play, and you got people that don't, and um, really none of that was kind of the better parts about Michigan. They never really brought up as a player rather than just something that a website said, and that's really what drew me, closer to the program because not once have they did they ever talk about me needing to get my ratings up. They, if anything, they said I was too ranked too low, and that's just something that they go by the player, not just by anybody who really could get a job to work for any kind of recruiting website to kind of recruit and kind of rank. So they know they have the NFL experience, they have the collegiate experience, they know what it needs to look like, and they know I fit that mold. And like I said before, I'm not going to be everybody's type of guy, and that's just how life is. And it's a chip on my shoulder, and I just play like I need to be the best every single day, and I know at one point I will be the best.
Sure. So what's your like off-season training been looking like? So what you been working on this off-season? How your senior season for Parish?
Bigger, faster, stronger as always. We got now, so I've been getting learning playbook, like on timing. That really, because honestly, last year that's what made my last year season so special. I'd worked with Sawyer for the past 2 years, and we were just on the same page that if anything ever went wrong, he just knew to look for me, and I would make that play for him. So just getting those quarterbacks on that same
Mm.
page, same speed to know like if any play breaks down, you got number two somewhere down the field, and if I'm gonna be your safety blanket. And any reads,
Mm.
I got you. Like if you need any help with anything, like they'll come up to me and ask for the plays, and that's just something that I really got joy to help the newer and younger people on the
Mm.
program, kind of stepping into that leader and mentorship role. Obviously getting bigger, putting on that weight, because college nowadays, I mean, the slots and the receivers are getting taller and taller every day, and also they have to get stronger and faster because now you're going up against guys who run 4.3s, and now you got to run with them. So getting faster and showing that explosiveness for this year is going to be my main goals. And yeah, it's just been a lot of speed, functionality work, and strength work.
Obviously, right now in high school, they got you playing outside a lot. That's what your team needs, and you're doing what
Yes,
they
sir.
want. And you brought up like
Yeah.
these, a lot of slot receivers are bigger guys now. You're not a little dude, right? Like you're not maybe 6'4", but But what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think the playing on the outside is going to help or has taught you and gives you that versatility when you're going to move to college level and play more of that slot role?
It's helped me a lot with my releases because when I go to Michigan, Coach Bellamy said I have the opportunity to play inside and outside.
Right.
So getting all those reps on the outside right now, being able to beat press, beat double teams, beat even triple teams, working those posts, those digs, those comebacks, the curls, all those routes that you could run on the inside, I'm doing it on the outside too. And now it's just there's a person on me, and now I got to get open. But I mean, this year I'm gonna be playing slot too. They're gonna be having me move around just because the coaches came through the school and said he's gonna play slot and outside for us, so I need him to play a little bit of slot more. So our coach has been very good about it,
Oh,
having me
cool.
move all around, not just having me in the slot. I'm even in the backfield on some of the plays. So hopefully I get to send y'all some huddle film of me taking a run to the house or something like that.
Let's go.
But it's just been amazing because now being as a slot receiver now it gets you to be able to craft more routes because now you're starting running head start at somebody who's backpedaling rather than having somebody directly in your face more than 60% of the snaps. Because like I said last year, I was getting double teamed a lot, so I would be getting pressed, and then they would have a safety come help over the. It just makes it a little easier in my eyes. But I mean, the work's still the work, and the competition's still going to be very, very, very tough.
So, in terms of playing in the slot, what's that going to look like at Michigan? Do you think? I mean, you talked about it a bit. That the coaches came down and wanted to talk about that with your coaches, but what do you think it's going to look like? Playing with Bryce and under Chip Lindsey, the new offensive coordinator.
Oh man, I love Coach Lindsey. He's an amazing mind. He's a real offensive guru, and playing with Bryce is just gonna take my game to the next level. Because when you got somebody like that who's probably gonna be a 1-1 Heisman winner in the future, right there, it's just gonna elevate your game so much. And being in the slot, that gives you a lot of favorable matchups, and that gets you able, like I said before, to really work your routes and get open. And most of the time, in a lot of playbooks, the slots are the first reads because they'll work in to out or out to in depending on the offensive scheme. But slots are always going to be a big part of the game, and those are the guys that if you need a little pass right now, you get them right there, and they can take it to the house from a stop route, slant route, out route, and that's just the person that I want to be. And I just want to be, like I said, the safety blanket for my quarterback wherever I go. So if they can break a play for him and they can throw it my way.
So, what's your relationship with Chip and Run like? I mean, obviously you've had a long-standing relationship with Run, but I mean, Chip's kind of only coming to the scene this year, I guess. So, what's that kind of look like for you?
Man, that's awesome. I think he's been
Well,
able to come down to the school one time, and he's an amazing coach. Every single time I go up there, I fall in love with that playbook even more. And he was when he was at UNC. If you go back and watch that film, he had like the number 1 passing offense in the country with Drake May, and he's got somebody with a similar build and the similar arm talent with in Bryce. So it's gonna be amazing, to play with him and with Bryson under Coach Lindsey because he knows how to go about it and he's seen it before, so he knows exactly what to do.
I'm the old man
yeah.
in this room right now, so I wouldn't feel right
Okay.
if I didn't shout out your parents.
Yes,
I
sir.
talked about how you're already a Michigan fan favorite, but I think you're lagging behind your mom when it comes to fan favorites online. Mom's a huge fan of the social media. Talk to me a little bit about her. I mean, she's obviously your biggest fan, but like you can see the support system that you've got around you with how much they're constantly out there propping you up and talking about you.
Oh yeah, no, my mom is an amazing person. She's my biggest fan. She'll forever be my biggest fan. And the way she, is on Twitter, like she's helps recruit too. Like me and her just
Mhm.
sit down and kind of see everybody who's has Michigan in their top 5, top 10. Just go and text them. Like not trying to be like, oh, we need to get you out here. Just being like, oh man, I see you got Michigan in your top 5, top 10. I mean, I'd love to talk about them. Like, I'm not gonna sell you on a wolf ticket. I'm gonna tell you what the real is and why I truly love this place. And most of the guys that we got committed from that Victor's weekend on our official visit, I just did the same, but in person. Like, I wasn't trying to sell them a dream. I just told them what it was and told them why I loved it. And they bought into it too. They bought into Coach Moore. and it was just an amazing feeling. And having my mom, being one of my biggest supporters is amazing. Um, any, I mean, I'm kind of lucky that we have Huddle and it doesn't have volume because if Huddle had volume, you'd probably hear my mom on every play. So
Love
I'm
it.
glad we don't have any volume, but she's amazing. I'm just forever blessed and grateful that she's in my life and that she you know helps me with a lot of these things because without her, not a lot of things would be moving like this. So she's amazing, and
I
I
love
could
it.
sit here and talk about her for hours upon end, but she's just an amazing woman, an amazing mom to me, my brother, an amazing wife to my father. So it's just I'm just very very blessed to have her in my life.
Nice job, son. That was good. She'll appreciate it. Um, and you brought up your dad too. Again, when I'm kind of looking into you in these recruiting rankings, I'm like, oh, what's going on? Here's a NFL bloodline, right? Like your dad's
Yeah.
a baller, right? And I'm like, well, maybe he's not really around football anymore. Oh no, he trains with NFL players. Like, you know what I mean? So talk a
Yeah.
little bit about your dad. And I know you've never had the coach's son favoritism. I've already heard that, right? But tell me a little bit about your dad, and then you've
Yeah.
got some cool connections to
Uh,
Michigan already because of him that I don't think people know about too. But
yeah. So if my mom's number one, my dad's a close second. Like they're neck and neck every day, and he's an amazing coach, an amazing father. Like I mean, he's been training me since I was young to play this game that I love, and I've been around this game for so long, and I truly understand what it means to be a football player. Michigan was one of his top schools when he was younger, and just being able to take him along with me and have him come to all the Michigan things, and me and him kind of living out the same dream at the same time right now, and just making him proud every weekend, every Friday, and then now every Saturday when I get to Michigan, uh, just having him around is amazing. He's an amazing father to me and my little brother. He was our coach up until middle school. Like you said, he doesn't do that daddy ball crap. As soon as we passed our youth league football, he kind of just passed us off to the coaches, and me and my little brother just train with him now, kind of off to the side whenever we had the time. So it's just amazing being with him, and I'm glad that he's around, and I'm glad that he's gonna be able to come to my games when I get older and play at Michigan in the big house, and make it exciting for him.
Having been committed to Michigan now for like a year now, almost, I think it is. What's your kind of like thoughts on Michigan, like as a program? I mean, you talked about your reasons for committing to Michigan, and like what led you to committing to Michigan, like and what you talked to other recruits about. But I mean, what kind of are those
Mhm.
reasons for the fans that haven't really seen your articles and that kind of
So,
thing? Like what kind of led you there, and how are you feeling about it now?
I mean, my commitment gets stronger every day in, day out. Like you said, it's almost going to be a year. I think in a couple months. But I mean, it's a program where everybody wants to win. The staff is very family oriented. Everybody works close knit with each other, and it's a place where they only want the top guys. They're not just going to take somebody. They want the best of the best. See them going after the best of the best, and it's not just somewhere where you only can get check marked by the coach that is your position coach. You got to get check marked through the entire staff.
Mhm.
Get one step, and when the whole staff signs off on you, that's and just able to there. It was a place where my parents saw the game atmosphere. He said, if you had to go to today right now, I would have a thought in my mind. We know, like, get taken care of. And that's just something that all the coaches reiterate to all the boys that are committed. They tell it's not Michigan isn't a 4-year degree, it's a 40 degree, and they're gonna treat us well. They're gonna keep us right, and it's one of the best opportunities to play in the NFL. It's a blue chip program. We have top games every week. Whenever somebody has Michigan on their schedule, it's the top game and the best rivalry game in football. So it's just those programs that when you see, you can't miss it, and place that like I said before, everybody has in their top five and top 10 because they know what comes with that. That's just a notoriety of a program, and it's just an amazing program, and I'm very, very blessed to be a part of.
You touched on your Victor's weekend official visit a little bit. I mean, what was the vibe like there? Because I think we've had like 5 or 6 guys out of that weekend commit since then. And obviously you and Brady and a couple of the other guys that are committed were on campus at the same time as well. So what kind of rota do you have on that weekend, and what kind of vibes did you feel coming out of that weekend?
Vibes are awesome. I mean, everybody there was amazing. The ones that committed were amazing. The ones that didn't even commit were amazing people, amazing families. Um, and that's just another thing about Michigan. They don't just recruit the players, they recruit families too. And if you have family and a good football player, Michigan will be all over you, man. Like that's what they pride themselves on. They pride themselves on family, and being a Michigan man. Like those vibes there was just awesome. Everybody there was cool. Uh, they all, have the same goal, and I'm glad that I got to share that same goal that I had with them, and that's to bring another national championship to Ann Arbor. So all those guys right there, they all like-minded individuals, and when you get up there, you kind of want to play with the best. So it's like if I view myself as one of the best in the country, why not surround myself with the best players in the country? And it's just an easy decision for people to come
Mm.
to Michigan once they get on campus. Like I haven't seen one article yet where it didn't start off with um the atmosphere there is electric. It's amazing. Like that's just something that Ann Arbor has, and that's just something it does to you. It's just like it's a place where everything you kind of you just feel all the emotions there, and you're just like, man, this might be the spot. This might be the spot where I can make my mark, and that's just something I was glad to share with everybody else, and have those same type of ideals and goals.
On your visit, there's a picture of you looking at like the Braylon Edwards section, right?
Yeah.
You're obviously you and this entire class are coming in to kind of change the way Michigan passes the ball, right? And you got Soup
Yes,
Campbell
sir.
around now, and he could talk about when Michigan was wide receiver you, right? And I know that was before your time, but have you looked at any past Michigan receivers, some of these guys that Soup coached or whatever? Do you compare yourself to any of them, or do you think like I want to be the next blank?
Yeah, I definitely want to be the next Braylon Edwards. I want to bring another Belinikov to the Michigan Wolverines. That's something that I've always wanted to do since I've learned about the award. You know, um, just being the best, and that's just something amazing. Like that, being the best receiver in the country is just something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to be and don't have the chance to be. So bringing that back to Michigan would be an amazing feeling. And one guy I always got to, one of the older guys, he might not like it that I call him old, but Coach Bells. Uh, I had to sit down and watch some Coach Bellamy Michigan film, but that's my guy, and he probably get mad that I called him old. But it's really just them two, and Nico, Nico. So
Mm.
I was able to watch a Texans game because they came to Dallas during the NFL season, so I got to watch him up close, and man, he's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing football player, strong hands, great routes, and he just fits in that system so well. But I mean, those are the guys that I'm kind of watching, you know, um, and I'm just excited to be with Coach Lindsey, and we're gonna revamp that Michigan stigma that we can't throw the ball because we all know we can throw the ball. I mean, every team has a down year. Not every team is 100% perfect, but having Coach Lindsey and his track record with his air raid offense and spread offense, and really he does anything type of offense. Not gonna lie, like he can switch it up on you, but he knows he can throw the ball and he knows what type of talent he has and knows how to use it.
That 2028 trip to Austin gonna have a pretty decent fan section at that game. You think get some people traveling that way?
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course, man. I already got people, my dad's friends, mom's friends are trying to get tickets out there. Whenever my
Yep.
jersey drops, they're gonna try to get one. As long as my number ain't, trash.
There we
That
go.
you're gonna see a lot of power jerseys. As long as I don't got nothing trash, you're gonna see a lot of power jerseys there. And if I'm blessed and able, and showing my skills and talents to make that travel roster and have an opportunity to play, man, that'd be a dream come true. Coming back home and playing one of the premier teams in Texas, and getting that win would it's just an amazing feeling. And it's close for my parents. They don't gotta fly; they can just drive. So and I know a lot of my friends and homeboys will be able to come to that game too.
Thank you so much for coming on. I said I know you're busy and you're
For sure.
doing everything you got to do to be able to graduate early and prepping for football and finding the time. We appreciate it. And like I said, I know you're a Michigan fan favorite already, and a lot of the answers and things you had to say, I think, are only going to embolden that. So
Yes,
We'll
sir.
keep in touch on the jersey number thing. I don't want you to tell me what a number is trash is now and then have to try and
Yeah.
backtrack later. So we'll figure that out once you get to Ann Arbor. All right.
I got you.